I'm Cece. I'm the registered dietitian with Kanema Fitness. Today we're gonna have a little bit of summer fun with our recipe. So this recipe is a great way to incorporate more vegetables into your summer routine. This recipe is very versatile, so I'm actually gonna make this recipe at home with my oven and roast some vegetables, but you are welcome to take this outside to your grill and do the same steps, just grill instead of roast. This recipe can be taken multiple ways. I'll show you what I'm gonna do, but I'll also talk about some other options to help you incorporate more vegetables into your summer routine. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Summer is a great time to get grilling and outside and incorporate the whole family with the cooking process. So that is why I wanted to go ahead with a recipe that can be used with the grill. Unfortunately, I don't have access to a grill, so I'm gonna be doing this recipe with my oven and roast some vegetables. So if you don't have access to a grill either, no worries, you can do the same thing as me. So for today's recipe, we are going to grill shallots, eggplant, and some summer squash. So I'm gonna get started with chopping up the summer squash. And in the meantime, I have my oven preset at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So once I finish chopping up all the vegetables, I'll place the vegetables on a baking sheet and we'll go through with everything that's gonna be tossed on the vegetables to give it some extra flavor. I'm gonna turn my vegetables and all of my ingredients into a loaded summer sandwich, but you are welcome to make this as a salad. We're also gonna make a side salad too. So you can just take the vegetables and put it on a salad, or if you are looking to have extra fun on the grill and making burgers or something along those lines, you can always add these vegetables to your burger to increase the overall nutrient content that you're having. So if you know me, you know that I love talking about what you can add to your meal to make it more nutritious rather than what you can take away. You know, every time we take away things, sometimes we get into that restrictive mindset and it's not always the healthiest for our relationship with food. And summer is a great time to, you know, allow ourselves to enjoy the foods that we want to have, but also thinking about what we can add to it. So when you add something, naturally, you're gonna subtract something without even fully realizing it. So it would be so easy for someone to say, oh no, don't eat the burger. But if you're enjoying the burger and that's something that you want, then I say go for it. Enjoy the burger and let's think about what you can add to it. So if we're adding more vegetables to it, then maybe you're gonna forget about the potato chips. And you still get to enjoy your burger, but then you're increasing the overall nutrient content so that way it's a nice balanced meal. Okay, so now I am done chopping up my summer squash and I'm gonna start chopping my shallots. I'm gonna show you how I am slicing them. So right here, I have my shallot. I am cutting this part off as well as this part off. And then you'll get the inside to look like this. This one was together like this. And so I separated it and now I'm just gonna cut it in half lengthwise. Like this, and then just place it in my bowl. I'm gonna take the other half and cut it lengthwise again. So then I will have this half and I'll just get rid of this outer layer. We'll have this and put it in my bowl. So I'm just gonna continue chopping up my shallots and then I'll get into chopping up my eggplant and then we'll have all of the vegetables in the bowl ready to season. Okay, so everything is chopped up. I have my summer squash, my eggplants, and my shallots all chopped up. So now we're gonna go ahead and season them. First, I'm gonna go ahead and mince some garlic, and then we're gonna add some thyme and some olive oil to season it up before placing it on our baking sheet. Okay, so now it's time to season. So I have a bowl right here that I filled with the appropriate amount of olive oil. I'm gonna add my minced garlic to the mixture. And then we're gonna add our thyme. And so with this mixture, I'm just going to stir it all together and then spread it all over the vegetables that I prepared. And then we'll line our baking tray with the vegetables. And so I have lined my baking tray with tin foil just to make it easier for cleanup. That is my personal preference with what I like to do usually when I roast, just because typically when you roast things it gets a little bit messier, and it's summer, it's all about quick and easy, and so I like to make things as easy as possible for myself. And yeah, so that is my plan. You're welcome to do whatever you want for how you roast them. And again, you can always substitute this by putting it all on the grill. So when you grill, just one thing to keep in mind. So how you clean it is very important. So there are a few different brushes that are out there. The brushes with the bristles, those are actually very dangerous, and sometimes the bristles become loose and then can get stuck either with your food or served on a plate, or loose on the grill. And if they're consumed, they can cause serious injuries and can puncture parts of your GI tract. So I always recommend the rubber cleaning brushes and avoiding the brushes with bristles. So that's my health and food safety tip for you for the summer. Okay, so I placed all of my vegetables on my baking sheet. Not all of them fit because I want to make sure that they're in one flat line so that they cook evenly. So I'm just going to drizzle the remaining amount of the olive oil mixture on top of it, because I only did partial, just because I wanted to do one last finishing touch before I place them in the oven, and then I will roast the second batch afterwards. So while our vegetables are in the oven roasting, I'm gonna go ahead and make our dressing for our side salad that you can also drizzle onto your sandwich. So I put the vegetables in the oven for about 30 minutes and I'll check on them, and if I need to flip the vegetables to the other side or I need to put them in for a little bit longer, then I'll do so then. So usually this recipe will be for about 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes longer, sometimes closer towards the 30-minute end of it, depending on your oven too. So like I said, we're gonna get started with the dressing for our side salad that you can also put on your sandwich. So I put some garlic in a mason jar, and we're gonna start adding in our ingredients so we can just shake up the dressing all together. We're gonna add some olive oil to the mason jar. So just a couple teaspoons. I'm just gonna eyeball our ingredients because I don't mind having a larger volume of it because I can use it for future salads throughout the week as well. So I have all the amounts and proportions listed in the recipe card attached to the video so that you can follow along for precise amounts. But like I said, today I'm just gonna eyeball it. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm actually gonna do a larger amount. We're gonna do about a half a cup. Okay. And then you can go ahead and do red wine vinegar or white wine vinegar or a mix of both, or champagne vinegar also works well too. So up to you with your preferences or also what you have available. I am gonna do red wine vinegar and rice vinegar today. A lot of times when I do this combination, I really like doing champagne vinegar, but I unfortunately am all out today. So I'm gonna do a little bit of red wine vinegar and a little bit of rice vinegar. And then about 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. Okay. And then I'm going to mix this all together. You can also add a little bit of soy sauce if you want to add another component to it, or you can add any other dressing condiment you like, up to you. Okay. I'm gonna take a little smell. Ooh, it smells good. I think this is gonna be great for our salad. So our salad's gonna be arugula based with watercress if you have them available to you, or you can top it with pears, or you can top it with really anything. Pecans work well with this as well. And I'm actually just gonna do the arugula and mix the dressing with it so that I can stuff it in my sandwich. Oh, I almost forgot. I forgot to add my balsamic vinaigrette. I knew I forgot something. Okay, we're gonna add the balsamic vinegar back into our mason jar, and then we'll mix it up one more time. I can't believe I forgot that. That's a key part of it. Oh, that's the color that I was looking for. This is exciting. That really smells good now. Okay, so we're all set with our dressing, and you can go ahead and toss it in with your arugula. If you want the arugula to get a little bit damp, I'm gonna just save the dressing on the side because then we're gonna put it on my sandwich. Now that my veggies are out of the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle some balsamic vinegar on top. I have this spray type of balsamic vinegar, so I'm actually just gonna spray it on top just to spritz it to give it a little extra flavor. And then I'm going to top it all off with some rosemary. Okay, so I ended up mixing the salad dressing with my arugula and allowing it to marinate while the veggies were still cooking. And I added the arugula to my sandwich. So we're gonna start adding fresh mozzarella to the sandwich on top of the bed of arugula. And then my plan is to add the hot vegetables on top of it so that it allows it to melt. So I'm gonna add some eggplant first. We'll do a layer of eggplant and then some summer squash on top of it. Ooh, this looks good. And then cut up some shallots. They're nice and tender, so they'll be easy to bite through. Got this one right there. And we have a loaded sandwich. Like I said, you can use these vegetables on top of a burger, or you can add these vegetables to a salad if you wanna have it without the bread and kind of increase some extra, add some extra things to the salad to make it a little bit more nutrient dense as well. But this is what I'm gonna be enjoying for my meal today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your summer. We'll see you back here next month.